Okay. If you guys have been playing Magic the Gathering and you are going from bracket 3 and 4 into cEDH, I did the same thing. And there is a lot of mistakes that we make when we make that change. And that's what we're going to be talking about today to help you guys out. But first, as always, if you guys are not in the Patreon, it is the best way to support the Crying Raven. Make sure you go join. You get an extra piece of content every single week that is outside of this podcast. So make sure you don't miss that. Head over there and join the rest of the members. But let's go ahead and hop into the conversation. All right. So what is the first thing that we got going on here, Levi? So we got 5 mistakes here that most people or new players are making when they come into the cEDH world, including myself, right?
Yeah, dude, we all do it.
What's the first one we got here?
Dude, and we've kind of done an episode like this in the past. So this is just kind of refresher. Like, I've gone to Albuquerque, did a bigger cEDH 10K, done a handful of stuff around the local scene, and just other things like that. And just I guess things that we're noticing, and then like Aaron was saying, these are things that all of us do all the time. Like, this is not by any means gatekeeping or bullying or hey, things you're doing wrong. It's just more of like things we see more often than not that might be slowing some people down. And maybe you're feeling just a little, oh, I don't know if like this is if I want to keep playing. This is just keep people from being like discouraged. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody kind of gets in those, like, it's your first time playing more higher bracket stuff, you get a little discouraged. You kind of just don't. uh
It can be rough, dude.
It'd be rough, yeah, dude,
Especially if you're playing people who play and you don't really might not get too many turns to actually learn what the hell's going on.
Right,
You know
for
what I
sure,
mean?
for sure. It's a little bit more, it's not as forgiving of a format either,
Yeah.
especially when you get in the higher brackets. Because
Mhm.
it's just, but one of the biggest things like I've seen so far, and like I said, we've talked about some of this stuff in the past, but even in transitioning from 3 to 4 into cEDH, just knowing like threat assessment. I know like I said, we talk about it, but even no matter what level of like Magic you're playing at, threat assessment is always kind of like a big deal.
Mhm.
Like targeting wrong players. In cEDH, it's not so much scary board state, lots of big stompy stuff, is more as it is like how much value is that player producing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like Ristic Study, Esper Sentinel,
Smothering
Smothering Tithe,
Tithe.
right?
Yeah.
If this dude's running Necropotence, just stuff like that. You're looking
Mhm.
for other things. So looking for those like key value pieces on the board instead of big stompy things.
Mhm.
Unless we're talking about a Tali, still kill it on site. Like, it really is one of those just like still just kill it on site. Do not let that resolve
You
like at
don't
all.
want that smoke at all, bro.
Yeah, you don't want that.
At all, bro. But yeah, I
That
totally
and
agree too. It's like targeting the wrong person or just like using spells on the wrong person, right? So like
right.
somebody might play something that seems scary at the moment, but it's not necessarily scary. Then you use it on them, and then the next player does something that is like they can end the game
Right.
type shit.
Right.
You
Just
know what I
not
mean?
targeting the right scary thing at the right time, for
Exactly,
sure.
bro. And it's just like,
Missing, just missing those
and it's
things.
really just knowing kind of like what's on the board, kind of like what you
Yeah.
said,
Mhm.
and just paying attention to like what the players have and just really learning the combo pieces. And
Mm.
if there are certain combo pieces that are out on the board that can lead to something else. If not, then we don't necessarily have to worry about it, right? But if there is
Right, right.
someone on the board or someone in the game who has maybe like 1 or 2 combo pieces out, maybe that's who we need to look at because next turn the game might be over if we don't
Right.
deal with
Especially
that
if this
now.
player is already like if that player is already resolved, excuse me, like 2 or 3, 2 tutors at this point, and they've already got 1 or 2 value pieces on the board. Yeah, this dude is probably a problem. Like,
Hmm.
he's already ahead in value, etc. And not knowing keep things like that, it can kind of like keep you behind as far as like learning more and getting more experience within like cEDH and higher bracket and stuff like that.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
that would fall under that category of like missing, not really missing a win attempt, but just not knowing board states, more or
Yeah, yeah,
less.
yeah,
Bad
yeah.
threat assessment,
Hmm.
where that kind of chalks up into.
Trying to stop other people's win attempts. and when to
Right,
do
right.
it, right?
Yep.
But again, like you
Called
said,
those
there are
windows.
times where exactly there are fucking windows, bro.
Windows. Yeah, yeah.
But also not knowing when you can win, right?
Yeah.
Is a
Yep.
thing that we can miss, right? Because we get the deck, we put it together. Most CEDH decks, most people just copy, right? Like the only CEDH deck I have is Raph and Mikey. What is it? Fucking Troublemakers, and I
Yep.
copied
Trollhunters
that,
did it.
right? So I saw
Yeah.
it. It
It's in
won a
that deck.
fucking tournament, and I was like, dude, this deck looks sick. I would love to play like this, right? So I fucking went. I printed it. I have it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So, but in order for me to know what it does, that I have to
Gotta
play
play it
it
more.
and play test it and do stuff like that. So like the first 1 to 2 to maybe I would say maybe the first like 5 to 10 games, you're not really gonna know what the deck's gonna do, right? So just expect to
Sure.
kind of expect to get not win. Just like go into those games like, okay, I need to learn kind of what my deck does, how does it win, right? And then maybe
Right.
go from after that point, then you know what the deck does and how you can put things together, how you need to play it, how you need to interact with other players to make sure you can do what you need to do. Like, there's a lot,
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
a different thinking process that goes into CDH, and especially when you try to put your wins together, because you have to stop other people from getting their win, but then also put together your win at the
You're
same
winning on
time. And
top
you
of
don't
it
want
for
to
sure.
miss that either, because again, you might not get another turn. So,
Turn three's a privilege around here, man. Yeah. And I mean, and you kind of hit the nail on our like second topic, and that's like not knowing your deck and like not knowing your deck lines. Now, a lot of people do that. I mean, everybody's kind of guilty of it, of either, and that's, I shouldn't even say guilty like it's a bad thing. Everybody's going to start somewhere with a net deck or a beginner friendly CEDH deck or just something that just kind of fits their play style. So
mhm.
you got to start somewhere. But with that, you want to do the research on the deck. You want to know what are the most common win lines. As if you're playing Gruul for, Mikey and whatnot. I think that's
Swing.
Gruul, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you want stuff like Fling. You want your Finale of Devastation. You're gonna have probably an Underworld Breach Food Chain combo in there somewhere just to get things going, depending on the archetype.
Mhm.
I'm just going based off of
I don't
it's
think that's in there.
gruel,
I'm gonna be
so.
honest.
Ooh,
I'm gonna be honest. I don't
I
think
mean,
that's in there.
shit.
I literally think, bro. I literally think. Well, I don't think. I know. Is literally get Mikey out on the field, get Raph and Mikey on the field, swing, go through the
And it's
deck.
just it's a
Yeah, it's
Discover deck, right?
yeah, yeah. So he
Oh,
swings
it's
because he
nothing
has
but
haste, and then you go through, you get another creature, resets, get you another combat, do it again, get another creature, reset combat, do it again.
rinse and
It's
repeat.
literally
Yeah,
that. Yeah, you
yeah,
just
rinse and
yeah,
repeat.
rinse,
There
repeat.
you go.
That's it. That's all it is.
Well, see, then you did the research. You're already halfway there. You know,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying? And you
So it's
played.
just getting, it's
Wait, how
just
many games
getting
have you played with it?
hmm?
No. How
Actual
many
games
games have you played with
zero,
it? Zero.
but I've play
Okay, you
tested it a
played.
fuck ton.
Oh, that's right. Who played that deck? That was
That was
we had a buddy Dathan.
yeah.
He, yeah, he
It
played that
wasn't the
deck. Yeah, yeah.
CDH version, but it
No,
was
but
bracket
it was
four
still
version.
nasty.
But it was
Yeah,
still
yeah, it was
pretty
still
fucking
gross.
dirty, bro. That
Shouts
game
to
is actually
Pickle
coming out
Juice Mafia. Yeah.
this next week on Patreon.
Oh, Patreon,
Yeah,
nice.
on
Nice,
Patreon.
nice,
It's going
nice.
out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you're not on Patreon, go see it.
But
You're gonna
yeah,
want to see that game. It's a cool game. Sorry. Side
there you
tangent.
go. No, no, no. Side tangent. We're good on that one. But yeah, just not knowing the deck lines and just really not knowing what your deck is capable of is something I've seen a lot. I did run into somebody at Albuquerque, and they said, "Yeah, this is my first time running blank deck." I won't say, just you never know.
Mhm.
But you could just tell they were having a hard time because they had. I could just see from my end. And I'm like, well, you got a Sensei's Divining Top, a Citadel, and they had one other combo piece, but they were a few, I mean, just a few turns away from at least pinging somebody from 50 and then starting the loop of the Aetherflux was Reservoir and
Ah,
Divining Top like
yeah.
combo. And
Mhm.
I was like, oh, and they didn't even really know.
Mhm.
And like I talked to them post game and kind of showed them. They're like, "Oh crap! I didn't even realize I had like two out of the three pieces. I had a tutor in hand, X, Y, and Z, and they didn't realize. So I was like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
So no, that's a bad thing. It's just common mistakes or better practices.
Mhm.
On top of not knowing your deck as well as like just being slow to interact with your deck. Um, as far as like if you already have value engines in hand early, why not go ahead and use them if you know other players aren't probably holding interaction or anything this early into the game. Like
Mhm.
if you have a Blood Chief's Ascension or like a Mystic Remora or just things of that nature that are those early one drops, go ahead and do it. If you have it and you don't, it kind of makes me scratch my head in a cEDH competitive environment. It's like, hey, why not take advantage of that?
Mhm.
That hesitation factor, you know what I'm saying? That
Mhm.
I think that's more or less what it sums up into of
And I
like the
mean,
slow
then
interaction.
if you're like, even if you do it right, let's say it's
Mm,
like, let's say it's a strong card, but it's not
mm.
like a main combo piece. You can get the strong card out, and then you can just get interaction from other people.
Yeah, draw out that
So then,
interaction
yeah,
for
just
sure.
draw it out so that when you get the combo pieces, they'll resolve.
Yo, this player's
You
already
know,
used the force of will. This dude's already used a mental misstep. This dude's already used a force of vigor. All right, okay, cool. So
legit, yeah,
he's used a Deli Rollick already. So you're narrowing
yeah.
down.
Now let me play this
So
fucking food chain.
yeah, let me play this.
That
You
type
know,
shit. So
for
it's
sure.
like keeping track of everything, and just knowing like, again, that type stuff where you can play something, you can bait something out, and then when you actually get the cards in your hand to do something, then they'll resolve and you can get the combo going off. You know what I mean?
Right. I think even with that, something that could be followed up with something I've preached before. I've heard other people tell me, "Hey, I heard you say this." You've even told me this. Mulligan. I cannot
Yeah,
express,
yeah.
bro. Just take the mulligan. Just take the mulligan. Aggressive. I don't even care. So yeah, mulligan better. There's time and time again, like I've been at a local or something of that nature, and I was like, man, what was your starter? They're like, bro, I had like one land. I was like,
Bruh,
why? Well, I had this,
bruh.
this, this in my hand,
You
or I had
can't
a two
play it,
land. I
bruh.
was like, bro, well, if I could just only top deck, I'm like, yeah, this man was really messed up. If you got to ask yourself that, we all know the routine. If you got to ask yourself, oh, if I just top deck blank, I'm
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Just go ahead and get
Go
another
ahead and
seven and go ahead
re-up,
and
bruh.
get that six. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, dude.
and that's.
Cause you ain't gonna top deck that
I'm
motherfucker.
very guilty of that, dude. Like I can't lie.
Oh, we
Even
all
when I
are.
went to Albuquerque, like I did, like I'll openly admit I kept a bad opening seven. And it was one of my pods that I was like seat two, and I was like, bro, I gotta like even at seat two, I can mulligan down to six playing
Mm,
Yuriko, even five. Like I'll be okay. It's gonna leave me with like a low hand, but I'll at least be in the flow state that I need to.
mm,
But just yeah, keeping bad hands, and not really. This kind of falls into like what we were talking about of not knowing your deck as well as in your opening hands, people not really knowing what to look for in that
mm-hmm,
opening seven or in your opening hand in general. Like you want that good opening flow of your first like 2 to 3 turns.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah,
Especially in
you
a
pretty much.
CDH mindset.
Oh yeah. So you pretty much be looking for, especially in CDH, you'll be looking for, you know, I always say at least 3 lands. That'll get you 2 to 3 turns, but it depends on what you have as
That is
well.
some
Like if you
rocks, some fast mana.
literally, like if you got 2 basic lands with like a soul ring, and then you got another thing that like a dark ritual or Jessica's will or something like that that just gives you mana
Yeah.
on cast. Um, you can keep that. Then if you have 1 or 2 or 3 other combo pieces, maybe like a tutor in hand, I would keep that one hundred
Yeah,
percent.
anything that you can generate the most value on your end of the board by turn three, whether that be card advantage or board state, like that's kind of like your sweet spot where you want to be in that opening like hand overall. My
Hmm.
personal opinion.
Yeah,
Uh,
but then if you don't,
you know what I mean?
then mulligan.
Yeah, get it to where you need
Like,
to, bro. Like I've never had to go down to four, but I've seen people go down to four, and that
mhm,
was,
yeah, dude.
bro, that was rough.
At that point, if
Um,
you see yourself now, if you see yourself constantly going down to like having to mulligan down to 4 cards, then you might
mm,
need to reassess your deck a little bit.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
do
I
some
would.
do some changes. Maybe you don't have enough of something in there because I mean, again, like it's commander, we can only have one named card of each whatever it is in the deck,
Right,
but
right, right.
there's a bunch of cards with different names that literally do the same thing. So
Yeah, yeah,
maybe you just need more of that thing that does the same thing in the deck, right? So you just need to
for sure.
reassess it a little bit if you see yourself coming across that issue over and over and over and over again, because at that
Yeah,
point, it's not a hand problem, right? It's literally the deck's problem. So you just
yeah.
got to
It's
go back
numbers at that
fix it.
point for
Yeah,
sure.
straight up. Um, so that kind of, I guess, leads us to the next thing. This ain't gonna be that a very long of a freaking episode, y'all.
Nah,
We
this is a bit, this is just overall.
yeah.
Since we did the last one, we like I said, I've gone to Albuquerque. Aubrey's not with us this week. He sends his love to everybody. He's got IRL work stuff going down,
Hmm.
so he's just paying the big bills this week.
Yep. Yep. So,
But we've taken input from him, and this is stuff from all three of us, and me and Aubrey went to Albuquerque. Aaron, I know you've done a handful of LGS stuff, and you've
mhm.
played plenty of cEDH stuff with us online, and it's just stuff that, like I said at the beginning of the episode, guys, this isn't a gatekeep or like bully. It's just, hey, stuff we notice and we've done ourselves, and with our experiences, just kind of combined.
Mhm.
So, what was that next one we were going over?
Holding interaction too long,
Oh yeah,
right? So instead of like you're trying to wait for the perfect moment to actually play your interaction instead of
yeah,
again just playing it when somebody has the combo piece out, right?
yeah,
And you're
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
either stop them or keep something going because honestly
Mm.
cdh it's a game of the stack,
Oh,
literally.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
So you're trying to win on the stack pretty much, and if you don't play the interaction correctly on the stack, then you're just biting yourself in the butt and you're just asking to
Yeah,
lose
and
again.
there's a mix of that. I had experience like that in Albuquerque, and then I also had kind of a experience where I wasn't necessarily sure when to play it. And
Mhm.
that does fall on me. Like I said, this is all, this comes from experience. I kind of threw this one into the notes because it was a bad habit I had prior to Albuquerque. And then I had one interaction during one of my pods that it did happen where I was holding a piece of interaction, but I didn't know if I could necessarily interact with said piece, and I didn't speak up about it.
What was the
Ended
card?
up losing, long story short, but I ended up talking with the pod afterwards, and they're like, "Oh, brother, yeah, man, like you could have played that against blah 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 blah." I'm like, "Oh, dude, I genuinely didn't realize I could have done that." They're like, "Hey, man, things happen." Like, and it was one of those like black border older cards where it's kind of like worded weird. It's not worded in like modern
What were the
updated.
cards,
Um,
if you
I
remember?
want to say, oh man, I think it was it had to do with I basically couldn't interact unless it was a non-creature spell that they cast for free.
Okay.
But the wording was just really bizarre. So long story short, I could have interacted with it
Hmm.
because of how it was worded.
Hmm.
So it was just not knowing, this whole holding interaction too long. I personally threw this one in here because I did have that habit of just not knowing when to interact properly and waiting for certain value pieces that I knew I could interact with, uh, you know, or key ones like I'm waiting for an Underworld Breach, I'm waiting for the Necropotence, I'm waiting for a Sensei's Top. I'm waiting for a Toxic Deluge. The typical
Hmm.
list of stuff. Hey, I'm countering that. Or, somebody's Smothering Tithe. Nope, getting rid of that. Versus Exciting. Nope, countering that.
Hmm.
I'm waiting too long, and I was. I've gotten a lot better about it now, but that just comes and goes.
Hmm.
That just like you were saying, playing more often.
Hmm.
Uh, Being a little bit more vocal too when it's not at a tournament setting and just like at a local setting. Like you'd be surprised how many people will just be like, "Hey, so I'm kind of confused. Uh, blah 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 blah. Can you break that down for me one more time?"
Hmm.
And most people are pretty chill about it. Tournament setting, I mean, it's tournament setting. You know what I'm saying?
Apparently they
They'd be
talk
like,
more in tournament.
"Hey, bro, a little
Apparently,
bit,
bro, like what you
a little
said,
bit." Yeah, they
showing
talk
each
quite a
other's
bit.
hands and shit.
And what's weird, man, is it's we'll get into an episode about this of the manipulation of politicking. Um, is on a totally different level. Like it's almost like psychological warfare. Like, and I'm not even exaggerating when I say that because like that man, just some of the stuff people would say, I was just like, bro, what? Like I feel like I'm on Shark Tank right now. Like I'm really
uh,
like bidding with you on like, all right, bro, like, hey, I can get rid of it. Like I can interact with it. But I need to know, do you gotta win next turn? Well, I might. Okay, well, you're gonna have to give me a little bit more than I might. You're gonna have to show me something like a card or like something in hand. Like, and that's how it's politics. I'm like, oh,
uh,
okay, like, dang, bro,
I'm out.
like this
I'm out.
crazy. I'm.
I'm out.
Hey, bro,
That's crazy. And see, I don't
yeah.
understand that part of it, bro, because like coming from
When we go
competitive and all that stuff, I'm like, dude,
right,
bro, why would I try to make a deal with you for a win
yeah, dude,
when I could just
it's
play my
something.
shit for a win?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
it's weird, bro. And they'll try to like dictate the flow of the game, and
Yeah.
there's some other yeah, bro. When we go to Dallas
I'd be like,
in
bro, shut up.
September,
Play
yeah,
the cards. Just shut up and play what you got to play. You know what
hold
I
on,
mean?
hold on,
Oh no, oh no. There you go. Less yappy yappy, more tappy tappy. Get
right
it?
here. It's all on
There
the
you
shirt.
go. On the shirt.
It's all on
All
the
right.
shirt.
Jesus
Shout out,
Christ.
yeah,
Just play
all on
the
the shirt. Just
cards.
play the car,
Shut
bro.
up.
Yeah, and
All right.
that's how a lot of forced draws happen. Is from like yapping and politicking their way into a draw, and
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy world out there, man. It's crazy.
Motherfucker, you be like, you want to make a deal? No, I
Nope.
don't want to
No,
make a deal. You must ain't got nothing in your hand. You trying to make a deal.
shut up,
Huh?
play the card.
Shut up, play the card. There you go.
Play the cards.
Yeah, tap the
Yeah.
fucking Mickey Mouse hand. You let him know. I'm still gonna break that fucking thing as soon as I see
Yeah,
it
probably, man. That's probably.
over my knee.
Everybody loves it though, man. Everybody locally, everybody's been liking it.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Nope.
Online, fuck that thing.
Fuck that thing. Just
Thanks.
push
Get
the
that thing
card.
out of here, dog.
If you guys have ever streamed with us or seen any of the clips, you've probably seen this little purple hand pop up in our clips every now and then. Fucking hate this little thing.
uh,
Bane of my existence, yeah. But holding interaction too long. That's probably that one. That's personal experience, dude.
and
Personal
dying with
experience.
answers in your hand.
Yeah,
We've
because I've
all
done that
done it.
too.
We've done it. We've all
Yeah.
done it, bro. It's the same for me
Fuck, should
as
have played
like
fucking.
literally. It's the same for me. It's like I don't know if anybody watching this plays Marvel Rivals. Okay, we're gonna make a Marvel Rivals reference here. It's the same thing as if you lose and you have your ultimate available. If you go into the end of the round now unless you're setting up for unless your team
Yeah, if you
literally
set
is
up for
setting
next
up for
round.
the next round, that's fine. But if like it's the end of the round, you're about to lose, and you're not setting up for the next round, and you don't use your ultimate, it's your fault you lost. It's the same thing. Like if
You
you
have the
lose and
utilities
you
to
have
help.
answers in your hand that you could have played, it's your fault that you lost. 100%.
You
And my
need to
fault. And
learn. That
Levi's
goes
fault.
into. Yeah, it's all our fault. We didn't teach y'all. It's fine. But I mean, yeah, just knowing when, knowing how the cards interact. I mean, it is all of a learning process. You know, like I said, like I keep saying, I threw this one in from personal, like very hardcore personal. Like, yeah, I fucked up. I held the interaction too long.
Hmm.
X, Y, and Z. I think we had one more. Oh man, everybody does this. Overhauling pet cards, just holding on to cards that you just love, even if they don't gain you any value.
Get rid of them.
Holding on to them. We were.
Get rid of
I have a
them.
hard time with this, bro.
Put them in a different deck.
Yeah,
Don't put them
something
in your
like
CDH deck. Put them in a different
don't
deck.
put them in. Yeah, don't
And then
do
this
it.
is something you told me that I pretty much take this going forward making decks now, especially bracket 4. Bracket 3, bracket 2, it is what it is, right? You can play for fun, you can make your pet decks, do whatever.
Right.
But like bracket 4 into CDH, um, I've taken this into consideration when making the deck. So if you have cards that do one-off things, they don't need to be in these type of decks
No.
because it's just a one-off unless it's like an instant that's getting rid of something or a sorcery that's getting rid. But if it's like a creature or an enchantment or something, most enchantments are
Mhm.
for a whole game. But if it's a creature that literally just has an ETB and that's it, it doesn't need to be in the
Oh,
deck because you're gonna do it. It's gonna do
that
the ETB
ETB
and
better
that's
be
all it is,
really impactful.
or really
Like
impactful.
yeah, it's got to
You
be
know,
one or the other.
and then you better have
Or
ways in there to fucking flicker it or bounce it or do something
mhm,
so that you
mhm,
can take control of the ETB multiple times.
multiple
But
times.
if not, it
Exactly.
does not need to be in the deck, bro, because it's not doing anything for you
Mm-mm.
other than the
Yep.
one time. So I take
Other
that
than
into
one time.
consideration now when building the bracket 4 decks at this point.
And that's normally a big thing between like mid-range bracket fours and like high power fringe into off meta and cedhs.
Mm-hmm.
Man, like get the more you get away from like the tribalism elves, like
Mm-hmm.
theme is more on 1, 2, and 3,
Mm-hmm.
little bit of 4.
Mm-hmm.
Competitive range is like high four fringe off meta, and then we're up there.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not a lot of theme as more as it is power and utility.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In comparison to, oh, look at my elves and squirrels and whimsical, the magic we all
Yeah.
know and love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it at all. Just, hey, the magic, and then the competitive, like hardcore
Mm-hmm.
end of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's I felt like that was like I saw a scale that kind of showed that like
Oh,
more
hell yeah.
on theme and then more utilization, and like 3 to 5 is like right in the middle of
Mm-hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I think that's why that's most people's sweet spot is like that bracket 3 to like
4.
high bracket 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
fun. It's just so
it's the
fun.
fun. Yeah, it's the
Like
fun. It's the fun
honestly,
range to
in my
play.
opinion, that's probably the best way to play Magic is the
Oh
3 to 4 bracket range because you
yeah,
still get to play what you want to play,
yeah.
and you can just make that as strong as you want. If you want to play super strong elves, you can play super strong
You,
elves, and they will still mess some people up.
oh yeah, they'll
You
throw
know,
you up. You
so in my opinion, those are the two best brackets to play because you still get high powered stuff, but it is still very fun because you're
it's
able
so
to
fun.
play and build what you want to play.
Yeah.
You know,
Still got some character in
still got
there.
some
You know what I'm
character in
saying?
there, man. You know,
Honestly, like honestly, yeah, you nailed it. That's probably why, like, I love 3, don't get me wrong, I love good bracket 3 into like, some high-end pre-con, but 4 is like my love child.
yeah,
That like just pure optimized, like, oh yeah, dude, I'm here to slug it out. But
hmm
this deck has character because it's still got a little bit of like theme thrown in there.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
dude.
I play ninjas and high-end squirrels.
hmm
It's my
A
dish.
little bit of
Well,
demon.
I was gonna say I used to play a lot of demon. Like I'm not even gonna lie, like I played a lot of demon tribal for
uh,
a long time. Especially in standard and like 60 card format, I played a
hmm
lot of like Golgari and mono black demon for a long time. So
hmm
um but that goes into all of this goes into what was that, our fifth
Yeah, yeah,
topic right there of just
hmm
like kind of overhauling the pet cards and not people are running really slow interaction and like just not the efficient cards when it comes to CEDH.
hmm
That and just not optimizing for speed because like CEDH is gotta be quick, man. Everybody else
Right
it's
now,
a
very
foot
quick.
race. Very, very right now, real quick. It's a
Yeah.
race not to beat each other up. It is a race to the win con
hmm
in comparison to 3 and 4. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So mm, when it comes to pet cards and stuff like that, it is just people aren't running fast enough, and just cards that, like you said, you're only getting like a one off. Like
hmm
it does the thing once, and
Yep. That's it.
we got to get off those and into like your grand abolishers, your draineth magistrates.
hmm
Get like a Bloodletter of Alcazats. If damage were to be done to an opponent during your turn, it does double,
hmm
Even though combat damage, but I mean ping damage,
Ping
So one's
damage. Yeah.
2.
Instead of 1, it's 2. If you got multiple
Hey,
pingers
instead
out,
of
instead
half
of
your
2,
life,
it's
oh,
4.
what's half twice whole? All of your life is
Exactly.
gone.
Exactly. So,
Utilization.
utilization. Then you just got to try to get them on
Um,
the battlefield.
with all of those being said, out of these, which one would you say you still kind of lean on a little bit more than the others?
As far as like doing terribly, or
No,
like
no, as
that, I
far as
or
just
like
like,
that I do the
oh shit,
most.
like man, I probably should, yeah, like, oh shit, I probably should have like
Oh,
not done that.
probably mulligans, bro. I feel like mulligans
Mulligans,
is a hard
that's a
one that
hard one,
people
bro.
because
That's
you're
a
like,
hard
dude,
one.
like it's scary to go down cards. It is. It
You
really
want to
is.
be at that same card advantage as everybody else. If you're the
Yeah.
only motherfucker starting, the only excuse me guys, but the only dude starting with you know 5 cards in hand, everybody else has got 7, bro. You
7.
already behind. Even if you're
Yeah.
C1, like
It's
bro,
like,
you're
dude,
behind.
it's crap.
Like
Like,
ah shit.
so it's
So you got to
scary,
make
dude.
sure it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I'd say like there was. Yeah, one of my pods in Albuquerque, like I went, bro. I think yeah, earlier I was saying this, like, bro, I should have mauled again. Like we here though, but I guess you say yours is probably just not mulliganing
Yeah,
where you
dude,
should.
mulligan for sure, bro.
Mine's gonna be holding interactions still too long.
Mhm.
Like there's still sometimes where I'm like, man, I know everyone. I'm not the only blue player. I know one of y'all holding interaction
Let
too.
somebody
I
else
don't
do
want
it.
to be the first one to give up interaction. Like nah. I want to see what everybody else got too. But I'm selfish like that. But it comes back and bites me because I find out people aren't holding
They
as
don't
much
have it.
interaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tend to hold a lot more of it, and I think people are starting to notice that now, or they're trying to draw it out. I don't know.
Uh,
Maybe I'm getting paranoid, but my thing is holding interaction too long. You know what I'm saying?
uh,
I am.
we just know Levi has it now.
I'm the local Demir
We
player, so
bait we
yeah,
bait him to not use it. That's how that works.
bro. Is that reverse psychology on me, dude?
Reverse
I'm dead.
psychology, god damn it. Oh, that's so funny, dude. But
Oh
at
goodness,
the end of the day, y'all, like CDH is a fun like format to play, right? You just
yeah.
have to know what it is going into it. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't think like it's a completely different mindset again from even four. Like four is optimized, and yes, you are playing to win, but playing to win in bracket four versus playing to win in CDH, two completely different things.
Oh
All
yeah, it's
right.
totally a mindset.
But it is fun as long as you know what you are getting into. All right. When you sit at a
Yeah,
CDH table, they're trying to win in turn three. And you just have to know that. All right.
yep, I'm
Um,
trying.
yeah. And you can just get more games in also with
Yeah,
CDH. You know what I mean?
it's
Like
really
a
fast.
normal bracket three, bracket four game, maybe an hour, maybe hour and 20 if you time it, whatever. CDH game, fucking maybe 30 minutes. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
depending on like who's playing what.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, I thought like you said, CEDH's game of the stack, bro. We'll get into another recap of Albuquerque, but I'll just say there was a 45-minute stack on like one of my damage
That's
cleanups on
insane.
one of my matches. It was nasty.
That's
It
insane.
was nasty, dude. Oh, but yeah, I mean, those are probably just the biggest ones. I'd say, hey man, if anybody's transferring into that, four into higher, bracket four into fringe or off
Mhm.
meta into CDH, just keep these things in mind.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've gone through a lot of them. I've been playing CDH more than like maybe about a year or so, dabbling in it. I'm
And
still
if
learning.
there's decks that you like to play in bracket four, just find a CD. Even if it doesn't win turn, like don't worry about that part,
Don't
especially if
worry
you're
about
just
that.
getting into it. But if there's a deck that is close to what you play in bracket four, go for that.
Oh yeah.
Because it's going to be you're used to it, or you're somewhat used to it. The cards are going to be different, trust me. But you're somewhat used to how it plays, and
Hmm.
you're going to have fun with it because you already play it anyways. So look for a deck that is close to what you already play, and then use that as the gateway into CDH. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Kind of the
That's how
same
I
way
got into it.
with beer. I can go into that because I'm a bartender, but I'm not going to go into that.
That's a whole nother. What do we do on
That's
the
a whole
side?
nother conversation.
That is. That is. Oh, I
But
think that's it on
yeah,
this
dude.
one.
I think it's gonna be it for this episode, man. Again, if you guys aren't in the Patreon, make sure you head over there, join the other members you see scrolling on screen right now, so you can get that extra piece of content every single week outside this podcast. Also, if you're not in the Discord, that is where the community lives. Make sure you go over there, join that. We do all of the announcements in there. When we do meetups at DZ Comics as well as Ray's Pharmacy, you will know about it because that is where we post it. So if you guys want to play with us IRL, that is where you can find out about it. Thirdly is DZ Comics. If you are in Oklahoma City, make sure you go check them out. They are the premier game store that we go to. They have everything from Gundam to Pokemon to Magic, everything across the board. They run multiple different tournaments and events, and we're going to be running some out of there as well. So head over there and make sure you tell them we sent you. Last but not least is our Etsy store. Levi always repping the hat. I got to get one of them hats, dude. Repping the
Comfy,
hat, dude.
bro.
We
Comfy.
got t-shirts, hoodies, everything across the board. Playmats are sick. So make sure you guys head over there, check out the store, get you some merch. And yeah, tag us on Instagram if you get something. But that is going to be it for this episode. We'll see you guys next week.